Hey everyone, welcome to The Faction, your Wrestling Weekly Review Show. I'm joined here today with our normal panel, Joey, John, Joe Bug, Blue, and me. Today we got a lot to talk about. We had a big Raw last night. Got a lot of upcoming things. I guess we're going to start off by talking about SmackDown going live first. So, SmackDown going live, Joey, your thoughts?
It's definitely needed. I mean, I don't think they've ever been live before, have they? When they
Nope.
did the brand split back in the day.
Nope.
So it's definitely it's gonna be interesting. I kind of wish Raw would go 2 hours as well, because it's a little bit too much wrestling for 3 hours. I mean, hopefully, who knows? It could be really awesome.
Which they may go to 2 hours on Raw now.
Yeah.
Anybody ever watched Raw on Hulu, by the way?
Once.
It's an hour and a half exactly.
Hmm.
Without commercials and the same promo 8 times, it's an hour and a half. Just throw that up
It's
there.
nice. I might have to start watching it on Tuesday nights. It going live, I think, is, like Joey said, much needed. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about
If
that.
you're going to get SmackDown off the ground, it needs to be live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
No more fake crowd and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Which you could tell what is fake and what's not
Yeah.
with the crowd.
You
When
mean
they're
when they
just
cheer
sitting there
Roman
doing
Reigns?
nothing. Yeah.
Well, it's like you don't even have to watch SmackDown because you can just read the recap
Yeah,
on the internet
on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Which is obviously taking away ratings, which is another
Yeah.
reason to do it live.
Mhm.
I do think that it would be a good idea to not do it on Tuesdays, but
I personally believe that they're doing that just to throw it in Dixie Carter's face.
Yeah.
Take
I
TNA
see.
completely
It'll
out.
be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be done.
I would like to see them do something with the set, like do something completely different from Raw, and like their team, their announced team, I think needs to be, which it is different now, but it needs to be a little bit better. I think like maybe Morrow. Is that his name, Morrow?
I think so.
Mara, yeah.
Moron, whatever his name. But I really like him. And I think him and maybe put Booker T on there or something different.
Rumored about Corey Graves doing.
I can see
announcing
that.
for-
Mm-hmm.
He's a good announcer. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
'cause he does the announcing for NXT.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And speaking of NXT, Brandon mentioned just a few minutes ago, the next NXT pay-per-view is called it was
Take
John-
over the end.
Take Over
The
the
End.
End.
Mhm.
So, you guys think that TNA may factor in with the split? No more TNA?
You mean NXT?
NXT.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Can we edit that out? We're not going to edit that out.
No,
We're
leave
trying
it.
to be more.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I think it's a possibility. I think it may move to just more of a developmental thing like it was supposed to be anyway.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I like NXT. I like what they've done down there and stuff. But some of their people are more than ready. We got Finn Balor,
Oh, yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura, Bailey, Carmella.
Well, here
Samoa
lately,
Joe.
their big stars are not up and coming. They're stars that have been in the business for years anyway. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think NXT, a lot of it's going to have to do with the draft thing
Yeah.
they're planning on doing. I know a lot of people are probably going to come up, from NXT during that time. So,
I had before that, they do that, the draft once a year, is that what they did
Yeah.
back then? What I thought would be cool is if they did it like a separate one for NXT, kind of like how the NFL does. You've got these
Mhm.
people, whoever gets the first pick, second pick, like they would do with SmackDown and Raw,
Yeah.
but do it with NXT, separately.
They done it right after. They usually done the draft right after WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah.
But
Which kind of.
Do you feel like it's going to be a Stephanie versus
Shane thing.
Shane kind
Yep.
of deal?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
but they got two big old egos, and you don't need to have them in the same building.
Well, this whole new Stephanie thing is kind of irritating to me. I don't like it.
Send her to SmackDown.
The face thing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like it. I think she was better with Triple H, and they were the authority, and I just think it's crap now.
Go back to the McMahon him.
You know, there was like a thing I had, like just a feeling I had last night when Shane came out, that if they put him on SmackDown and they're gonna give him completely different writers, like before, SmackDown could be the better show.
It could.
Mhm.
And it could end up being my favorite out of the two. You know, I was like, kind of the Raw thing, but I'm like kind of in the position now where I'm kind of rooting for SmackDown
And
to do better.
the past 3 weeks, to me, I believe SmackDown has been better than Raw.
So the writers already may have started over there. They just don't have, because you got to think about it. It's going to be completely different storylines over there.
Yeah.
Which is going to give, what we were talking about before, how loaded the roster is now, which is going to give more people an opportunity. So, I mean, I like it in that sense. I'm still nervous about it.
I just wish there was more information on it right now.
Which
Yeah.
brings us
Because
to the
it's
next
so
subject.
new.
That's a great segue to what's going to happen. Are you nervous about this? Like Shane saying, anything's on the table.
I don't know if they're gonna do one champion going to both, brands, and then have them on there every week live. I guarantee you some of those guys on SmackDown right now have to they screw up a promo, they got to go back out and do it over again. Like Vince will make them walk out. I've heard him do it before. So I think they'll be overworked myself. Which I know they still do SmackDown on Tuesday. They tape it, but with it being live and depending on who the champion is, I don't know. I just hope that because Seth Rollins is going to be champion soon, anyways.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't work him too hard with him coming back from an injury. And
Well,
Cena,
I mean, they could do like as far as like pay-per-views, they could do like the major four, have both SmackDown and Raw be unified for, the four major pay-per-views or
That's
whatever.
what they did before.
And then have, like the
Have their own separate pay-per-views.
separate pay-per-views throughout the year. So,
There's a lot to think about, that's for sure. I'm a little skeptical just because I don't like the idea of a brand split, just for that fact that it's going to alter pay-per-views, it's going to alter the roster. To me, it kind of takes away from the storyline if you've got a guy who's just exclusively on Raw with a championship, and holds it for 6-7 months. That if I'm a wrestler for SmackDown, I know, I'm not going to be in that mix-up anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, and as we all know about Ryback, how he talks about championship, championship holders obviously get paid more for some reason, even though it's fake and they know they didn't make themselves champion, they just got the championship.
well, it could be, more of a title change, more often than it usually is, I mean, it's like,
Here's my question about that, though. Is there a separate U.S. title? Is there a separate Intercontinental Championship? Or do
I
they do
hope
something
not.
different, like a European title, bring that back for SmackDown? Honestly, I think there's too many titles. Now, I like the U.S. title, I like the Intercontinental title, but I just don't know. That's where I'm confused. Like, what are they going to do?
Of course, too, they could go where if the Intercontinental title gets drafted to Raw, the champion gets drafted to Raw, that he stays on, the Intercontinental title stays on Raw, and the U.S. title, if it
Yeah.
gets to SmackDown, it stays there.
Or what that could be what they do. They might send the U.S. to SmackDown and keep the Intercontinental at Raw.
So that's the way they used to do it back a long time.
there's a lot to screw up.
Yeah.
There's a lot to get right. And knowing them, they're going to screw it up.
I'm skeptical, but I'm kind of excited at the same time because it might push people to do better things. Like it's almost like a Monday Night War
Mhm.
because who's going to have the better show?
That's how it was when Heyman was a writer for him.
But
You
didn't
know.
they fire him for that? Like they got
Hey, he had the better
Tipped
rating
off.
show though.
right. But that's what I'm saying.
And I think Vince got pissed off
Yeah.
because Raw was his
And he
baby.
did, yeah. So that's what I'm worried about that too. And Vince McMahon's excited about it, which that's cool.
Speaking of them, where is Triple H, and
Yeah.
where is Vince at?
Speaking of that, when you watch they haven't watched the Rollins documentary yet. I watched it today. It is phenomenal. Definitely watch it. Check it out. But there is a part where he went to WrestleMania, and he actually went to the NXT Takeover. You know, because he actually cares still for NXT wrestlers. They even talk about how he still stays in touch with them. And when he goes in to talk to him, Triple H, of course, that's his baby. You know, he's supposed to have control over everything. Well, as he's watching it live, you know, right there, Vince is literally standing over his shoulder, watching everything that's happening, calling everything that's happening, you know, just like it's any WWE program. And to me, that kind of makes me feel like maybe this is the end of NXT because, again, Triple H isn't getting to do what he wanted to do in the first place.
Which is, it sucks for Paul. Like, it really sucks for him. Because, like, he's worked his butt off to get to where it was.
Yeah, and look
Think
what
about
he's built.
TakeOver on SummerSlam last year.
Hopefully, this whole brand split will be a chance for Paul and Shane and Stephanie to get to actually start doing their thing instead of everything being so picky and controlled by Vince.
I still think, though, it's still too corporate. You know, they have investors, all this other bull crap. They didn't have in the Attitude Era. You know, nobody wanted to touch it back then because it wasn't PG friendly. And that's the thing, like, too, that worries me. I mean, I love Vince McMahon. I think everybody, you know, has a special place in their heart for Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But it's really getting to the point to where something's got to change. Either he needs to retire or, you know, like, nobody's going to kick him out of that position because he's going to be done.
He
when
won't
he's
give
done.
anybody.
He'll
full
probably
control.
die first.
Yeah. There's no way he's going to give Paul.
And
full
speaking
control.
of that control, did you watch that Shane and McFoley interview?
No.
That whole thing where he brings up Triple H to Shane, and Shane just kind of
Didn't have much
he
to say
tensed
at
up.
all.
You know, he's
He
just-
and he did say, he said, describe, you know, you and Paul's relationship. And Shane's like, we don't have one. There is no relationship, you know. So,
But he got really weird.
It
After
did
that.
get
Well, that could be another reason that why you don't see Triple H out there. You know,
because Shane is
because it's
back,
the
yeah.
Shane show now. But that's Shane's fault. You know, he left and then had all this crap go on. Started
But-
his own thing.
But you know
So-
who invited him back? Vince McMahon.
And
Called
Undertaker.
him.
And
Yeah.
Undertaker.
Yep, Undertaker and Vince. That was their idea.
Probably because they finally came to terms of it was amazing when he was there.
And now, the Undertaker's, you know, after that finally came to fruition, he just throws down
I am
his
so
bag and leaves.
ticked
Oh.
off about that. Should have never been a WrestleMania then.
Yeah.
Should have never been a match. If this is going to happen, it makes Undertaker look like a total dick.
Yep. yep.
And that's
I
true.
would
Well,
be
you know-
pissed off if I was Undertaker.
What kills me about it, I'm still not so sure this. I mean, because you know, you got all these stories, like whether they're real or not, which I've got a feeling it is, because like from a writing standpoint, you know, we were all sitting there that night at WrestleMania, like, why?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why?
What
Like,
was the
it
whole
makes no sense.
Mhm.
And then to bring him out and,
And
then
the
have
next
it the way
day,
it
Vince
is.
is like, "Oh, you know, here you go."
There you go, you can run wrong.
And it
That didn't
kills
really
me,
mean
though.
anything.
It kills me because he wouldn't put Shane over, but he would put Lesnar over, and he hates Lesnar
Yeah.
for real. So like,
Kind of like the League of Nations beating New Day didn't mean anything. We just forgot about
because
that.
they were just and I do recall.
WrestleMania-
Well, they were the better team.
crap.
I do recall it being for the championship.
That is to me an exact example of Vince McMahon. You know he has his hand in every single
Yeah.
match at WrestleMania. Look how that went. It was
Yeah.
a catastrophe.
Takeover was better than WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, way better. Yeah, Takeover, like,
Which is sad.
well, here's the thing. The thing about WrestleMania this year was Vince had enough of the boos of Roman Reigns, and he was like, screw these people. I'm going to give Roman Reigns the championship. But at the same time, like, you know, you are biting the hand that feeds you, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a billionaire or whatever, or close to being a billionaire. Ever since all that stuff happened, I don't know if he still is, but I mean, it's just the way I look at it is, it's like, why are you doing this? Like, you should have told Taker, no, this is my show. He makes stupid decisions like that. This is my show. It's going to make sense in the long run,
Yeah.
you know, and
'Cause
we'll bring
Taker-
you back. You're not going to really be gone, you know. just-
Taker is big. He is the phenom, but he's not bigger than WrestleMania. He's not bigger than creative
It
process.
shouldn't even matter anymore.
He's not bigger than the next 10 years.
Since the
Yeah.
streak's over. So
Yeah, once Lesnar beat him, all that just went out the
Yeah,
window.
that's what even matters.
It's time to
I thought that
do
was
something
it.
else.
I thought that was
Yeah,
it. for
everybody,
him.
and you know what? It really should have been.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Joey actually today, I said when he walked down that aisle at 32 this year, I said I got goosebumps because I thought it was going to be the last time he walked down there. And then Shane loses.
And the
Had
match
the perfect
makes no
opportunity
sense.
when he went and patted him on the face like that. Like Josh and I were talking about. It would have been awesome if he would have grabbed Shane's arm and pulled him over top of himself.
It would have been perfect.
And that would have been, yeah. And,
Yeah, I remember
I mean, that gives me chill bumps talking about it because people would go nuts
Oh
over
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And it would just be the best way for Taker to go out. Like, I'm not saying he has to go out. I think he should have. It should have been his last one. It's in his hometown. It's 100,000 people or whatever. Do the right thing. But I think that's part of that old, what they say, the old wrestler mentality that people, they don't want to, like Charlotte was saying last
Old
week,
school,
you always
don't
want the spotlight.
Don't
you
want
know?
to get rid of your spot.
Mhm. And don't get me wrong, I love Undertaker. But what's going on this year, I mean,
Yeah,
it's bull.
it's a bit. Okay.
Another good segue. Let's talk about how much Charlotte is crap right now. And how Stephanie just totally decimated
Yes.
her
Yeah.
on Raw.
That was to me the coolest thing because I was almost text both y'all, but I didn't get it out quick enough. But Stephanie to me basically was like, "Hey, this is how you cut a live promo.
Yeah.
Listen
Yeah.
to how I'm doing
Yeah.
this."
That actually got me fired up. That made, I like Stephanie anyway,
Yeah.
but that like got me really liking
Yeah.
the kind of face thing. I don't know how long it'll last, but like if she keeps it with that kind of mentality, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like have her be
But
face.
she's
that way.
always anything Stephanie does. Now I don't know about the match planning and if she really runs that much or whatever, but you know, when she's supporting Triple H, when she wrestled Brie Bella,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
great match.
Yeah.
Anything she does good.
Yeah.
And to me that was saying, hey, you know, good, we're handing you your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking pick it up and learn how to do it. You don't freaking get out there and act like a baby.
But somebody needs to do that to Roman Reigns too. Not to change the subject, but
That's true.
somebody needs to show him how to. Triple H needs to do it because he's probably, other than Jericho, like he's probably, well, I don't know. There's a lot of them. Owens is good. Wyatt's good. Somebody needs to take him under their wings. Like, hey, this is how you cut a promo.
Well, listen, I know Vince is back there. I'm telling you right now, Vince told him to say the guideline
Oh yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's like, all right, no matter how dumb you feel or how stupid you look
Yep.
or how much booze you're going to get,
Mm-hmm.
just say the guideline.
Yeah.
You know, it's your thing right now.
Yeah.
You know, you got to say it. 'cause
People
it's-
really
yeah.
believe in it. People,
Yeah,
you're
they're-
selling out
one of these
tickets, man.
days. One of these days, they're gonna love you.
I think that after watching
You're
that
dead.
Seth Rollins documentary, I think that Roman is not Vince's guy over Seth Rollins. I think when Seth comes back, the whole Roman shoved down our throat show will go away.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I
Because
think so.
this is the coolest line. I'm sorry, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but this was the coolest thing ever. So, Seth Rollins runs out at Payback, does the pedigree. The
Mhm.
crowd goes nuts. You can totally tell he's trying his best not to break character and just, he's overwhelmed. Because he even says the whole time I was hurt, are they going to even care if I come back? Are they going to welcome me, or what are they going to think about me? So, he walks backstage, smiling ear to ear, you know, he's having a blast. He walks over and Vince is behind, you know, in the production booth, and he comes around and Vince turns around and hugs him and he said, "You've been, he said, you needed that, didn't you?" And Seth actually says to Vince, "I think you needed that, didn't you?" And he said, "I did." He said, "I did."
Yeah.
And you could totally see, you know, finally,
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
wanted that, yeah.
Mhm.
and that's why I think hopefully when he's back in the spotlight, we won't have to.
There's nobody better right
No,
now than Seth Rollins.
absolutely not.
Nobody.
Well, when you go back and watch his body of work, it's unbelievable.
Mhm.
You know, watching him, I didn't know half the stuff about Seth Rollins that I do after watching that documentary. But you know, his big break, one of his big breaks was wrestling AJ Styles
Mhm.
in front of his hometown and 30-something people. you
Yeah.
know. And he's just unbelievable. And it makes sense what Sting said now, that was the best he'd ever worked with,
Mhm.
because there's nothing he can't do.
Yeah.
That's what Owens, I think it was, said. You know, he can jump off turnbuckles, do flips, all these acrobatic things, and then the next thing you know, he can pick you up and pulverize you. And
He's very similar to AJ too, in a lot of
Mhm.
ways.
Mhm.
powerful, yeah.
Mhm.
And that was something
Oh, that match.
you gotta put respect on is the man tore his ACL, ripped his MCL, stood back up, said, well, I can put weight on it, picks up Kane in a power bomb and walks him across the ring, puts him through a table,
Yeah.
picked him back up, pedigreed him, won the match, and then hobbled to the back because he said I could still walk. I mean, that's
That's a
dedication.
man,
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that other injuries have happened, like people like Neville, like where he broke his foot. I understand he couldn't, walk to the
Put
back.
weight on it and stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, like, speaking of the whole AJ thing, another little segue. Like, what about the Cena and AJ thing last night?
All right, yeah, we need to get into Raw. We're going way too much.
Yeah. I've been waiting for that match. I've been waiting
Yes.
for forever for it to happen, and the fact that it's going to happen, and that one of them's going to be heel and one of them's going to be face, it's going to be amazing.
What's the next pay-per-view?
Money in the
Money in
Bank.
the
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think about that. We got the Money in the Bank match. We've already got Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and now imagine AJ Styles and Cena. You think it'll be that early, or you think they'll pull it out to SummerSlam?
I got a
It
feeling.
could be
I'm thinking it's probably SummerSlam.
Yeah, I got a feeling they're
It could
going
be
to do.
six
it
man.
could be two.
Six-man
Tag match.
We
Yeah.
can see it.
Because if
twice.
Orton's getting ready to come back, that might be where Orton goes for this month.
New era versus the old era.
I don't know.
Could be good.
But it was a classic, phenomenal, no pun intended, heel turn.
Oh, it was
It was
great.
unexpected.
Yeah.
I was fired up, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, AJ Styles and Cena are about to whoop up on him, and then bam, and I'm like, oh no, but yeah,
It was just like Rollins turning heel.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
It was good
that's how I
stuff.
describe it. I actually thought that Cena was going to do it for a
Mhm.
second. I was hoping and praying for it, but then I was like,
Yeah.
you guys, I was like, oh, well, I'm okay with that too.
I wish
But-
he when he ran back down 3 times and kept just doing the same. dipping in
That
the face.
was.
I wish he would have Styles clashed him on
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
or something. That would have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, I think that was awesome.
Yeah.
Should've
'cause
known,
everybody knew. We said it last week. Oh, he's coming out during the Rusev segment,
Yeah.
and like give us Titus O'Neil.
Yeah,
during
which-
that, which is
I
whatever.
think this is Vince making up for taking it so hard on Titus. I think
Yeah.
Titus will probably be
He'll
Rusev.
win.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll beat him.
which I think that's okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
something different. I
Yeah.
mean,
He needs to be. And if anybody could convincingly beat Rusev, someone of that size,
yeah.
convincingly beat Rusev.
Yeah.
What about the whole? They didn't do the 7th man for the Money in the Bank.
Yet.
Yeah,
I'm
Yet.
thinking
Well, yeah. I mean, they
I'm
teased
thinking-
it for
who you
last
think?
night.
RKO?
it's gonna be RKO or Wyatt.
Oh man,
Most likely RKO, but
Wyatt would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wyatt would be awesome because
Any updates on that, by the way?
they're supposed to be back anytime. I think the reason why there wasn't anybody else that came back last night is because of Cena. I don't think he
Yeah.
wanted to,
Well, no.
mesh that, which I think would have been cool, but whatever.
You see
Because I
that?
like full on expected that that last match, the lights to go out and the Wyatts to be standing there. Because Sister Abigail's coming, I think, too. That whole
Yeah, well,
thing.
that's what I was gonna say. Bray, tweeted, about Sister Abigail or whatever, about
Hmm.
returning or whatever. So I mean, he could be back, Monday or heck no, tonight.
Let's hope.
Everybody's got to be back by July
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
because of the brand split.
Mhm.
So, I thought Raw was pretty good actually. you know,
Go
for
on.
what it was.
Let's talk about Enzo and Cass.
Yeah. Let's talk.
If
about
you
it.
don't like Enzo and Cass, then you're just an idiot.
I got
And
one
if you
word
like,
to describe
exactly.
you.
If you
That's
like Enzo
it.
and Cass, you need to like and subscribe this page right now, this channel right
And tell all
now.
your friends about it.
Yeah. Or
And
if you
can't
don't like it,
teach
then I
that.
can't-
Because
help
right
you.
now, if you're 16 and you love Enzo and Cass, you're going to be 30 and still talking to people about wrestling. Because
does that sound good?
And that
Maybe.
made no sense at all. And you can't teach that.
But he's on fire, man.
He is.
He's the
I mean,
man.
I cannot wait until they get into something to do with the New Day, because I mean, as much as I hate the New Day and I hate you, I think they're gonna play well off of each other.
Oh yeah.
what do y'all think about the tag team? You remember, let's think back 6 months ago.
It's getting better.
Tag team division had like 4 tag teams.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And the Usos, they apparently they thought that was the best one out of all of them. And now there's so many tag teams, and they just keep making up tag teams.
Usos.
yeah.
Gold and Truth. I mean,
I think
What
that's
is
just
Domino?
them. Really, that's just them having fun.
That
Yeah.
Breezango, like,
God.
no offense to anybody out there, but it almost looks like they're
Gay
a
couple.
gay couple.
Well, they're
coming out.
essentially the
Like,
same
I
character.
literally expect them
almost.
to kiss each other coming down the ramp. You know, it's
That'd be
they got-
hilarious.
They got the Rick Martel thing going on, and
Rick Martin.
you know that's all they need is Rick Martel as their manager, and then
Man, Rick
and Jim
Martel.
Cornette too. Then you got a really good '90s stable, you know.
Well, they're essentially
Thank you.
the same character, you know. I mean, one holds a selfie stick, the other dances. So, and they're both pretty boy
Hey, at least they're on Raw.
kind of thing. So, well, that's true.
That's
They're
true.
on Raw.
They're
Which
doing
is-
better than us.
Wait, you remember we went, me and Brad went to a house show, January, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, Fandango's music plays, and we're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
he's still here.
Yeah.
You know, it'd been months since we heard anything from him.
It's just a fun guy to watch. I mean,
Yeah.
you
After
know,
watching him
character's
on
stupid.
Swerved, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I hate is like him.
Which
and,
is coming back, by the way.
Swerve season 2.
Everybody
I believe
hates
next
it.
Monday
Yeah,
night.
it's next
Everybody
Monday.
hated it, and they're so scared of it.
Yeah, I thought. It was
But I think
great.
they're doing it to the fans this time. Like they're tricking. I don't think they're
No,
doing it
they're
to
not
each
doing it
other.
to
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Bless their little hearts.
Because Big Show probably, I guarantee you, Big Show was one of those that complained.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Big Show, what do
See
y'all
that
think
soon.
about his return?
I like it, and I'll tell you why. I was telling Josh, I said this is what they should do. He should be the behind the scenes dude that comes up to the young guys and rallies behind the young guys, and be like the what they call the judge in the back.
Mhm.
You know, he should be the dude like Taker was, but put him on screen as that dude too. He's probably that now in real life, since he's probably besides Kane, the one's been there the longest probably. But I really liked it. I really did. I think that's what he should do, and bring him back, give him some power, and let him mentor these young guys. I really liked it. I had a really good feeling about it.
Anything else on Raw of merit happened? We talked about the beginning, which was
Did you guys notice between who was it? Owens, Del Rio, and Jericho, when I think that Owens and Jericho play very well on each other. They're going to be a tag team, I think,
Yeah.
that would be cute.
Yeah.
because they are so freaking funny. And so whenever they get done with their promo and Owens goes off camera, and you can tell he's just standing there, because Jericho he's by himself. He's like, idiots. And then he starts walking off, and right before he goes off camera, he starts laughing.
Yeah.
And you could tell he's looking at Owens because he just couldn't take it anymore. And I think it's going to be a good thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Let's do a draft pick, like a top 5 people you think should go to each show,
Alright.
kind of deal. Like who would best fit
Put us on the
SmackDown,
spot.
you know, or Raw. So
Wow. So top 5 for
It's gonna be
SmackDown
tough.
and Raw.
yeah,
All time or current roster?
just current NXT. You know,
Okay.
So who do we think should
what,
go?
what would make the show
Raw.
both shows better?
Well, I could go on for weeks on that one.
Well, just for the Raw.
That's what
picks.
scares me. I'm afraid like they're gonna have all the face people on SmackDown, and then all the you know, the bad guys or whatever on
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think it's too soon to even talk too deep into it,
Mhm.
but you know,
Obviously, the storylines that they've got going on, they're not going to separate, like Seth Rollins from Roman Reigns. That'll go on for no telling how long. So whatever happens, I believe they'll probably both end up on Raw. Cena, I can see going to SmackDown.
yeah.
And Ambrose, I could see on SmackDown. As far as the big names go, you know, New Day, I feel like would probably stay on Raw just because
Mhm.
it's a 3-hour show and they usually take up at least 15
Yeah.
minutes of it. And then Enzo and Cass probably go to SmackDown just to diversify, you know, have that same aspect. I don't know.
I'm gonna go different than you on that.
Who else is in
I'm gonna say Rollins and Reigns stick on Raw. I'm gonna say Enzo and Cass are gonna stay on Raw, and then I'm gonna say New Day is gonna go to SmackDown. Styles is going to SmackDown. Owens will go to SmackDown.
I can see that. I feel like a lot of the new era people will be on SmackDown.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. They could
Because-
do like a NXT thing where
Yeah.
they just bring all the NXT guys, put them on SmackDown. Or
Well, and
you know,
you've got all these, you know, veterans that are going to be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to SmackDown
Yeah.
because I've been here and blah, 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 you know. And
But, I don't think Cena would have a problem with it. 'Cause
Cena's
he's
not.
pretty good at putting
He'll do
people
anything
over.
anybody tells him to do.
Yeah.
he knows his purpose, you know.
I mean, he's like, how Hulk Hogan was back in the day. But if anybody beats him, it's a shocker.
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's not opposed to putting people over, like he did Kevin Owens last year.
Which was
So-
That was
awesome.
blue.
Whatever.
He's
man.
put a lot of people over. Sammy, he put over. When Sami Zayn first came out.
He didn't
put
beat
over.
him.
No, but-
Putting over means you do him the favor.
Well, yeah, but Sami Zayn also.
And by
has-
doing the
I
he
don't
also
know.
hurt
I
his
don't
arm.
know.
He
Cena
didn't
could have
win.
stopped the match. He could have stopped the match, but he let him keep going.
That's true. I'll give it to you. on
Cena
that.
knew. They are two professionals.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn is new, but he's been doing this for
Oh yeah.
years, just like Owens and Rollins and all those
It's too
guys.
bad you
so-
hate him so much.
Well, after the Seth Rollins documentary, I found.
I see he's jumping on that bandwagon.
Well, I heard.
Now, I
Jumping on
don't
that
hate him
bandwagon.
as a wrestler. I respect him as a wrestler. As a character, not so much.
I heard after that match with Sami Zayn and John Cena, everybody was standing up in the back, giving them
Oh, yeah.
applaud after when they went back to the curtain.
Yeah, I was at home. I was thinking you could tell something was majorly
Yeah.
wrong. His, pop and his shoulders turning bright, or dark purple all of a
Yeah.
sudden within minutes.
Yeah.
And dude, he did everything that he was probably supposed to do. I mean, there may have been a couple of slams he
Mhm.
skipped, but he still jumped out of the ring, still did all kinds of stuff had to hurt really
Oh, yeah.
bad.
All right, everybody, it's time to stump the bug. I'm going to ask the question this week. Are you ready?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. What titles did Jake the Snake Roberts hold in the WWE?
None. He held
There it
none.
is.
And for the third week in a row, Joe Bug has not been stumped.
Cut a promo.
You got your questions, send them to the faction, try to stump me. You ain't gonna be able to.
And if you think you can stump the bug, be sure to send your emails to thefactionwrestling@gmail.com. Well, everybody, thanks again for watching The Faction this week. We got another great week of wrestling coming up. A lot to talk about next week. Hopefully we'll know a little more about the draft and everything going on then. But you guys have a great week, and we will see you next Tuesday. Dang it, it's Wednesday. Wednesday.